Hi, welcome to my video. So this video is me running Cosmic desktop environment on Arch Linux. Now this is a system with NVIDIA, and I've probably been warned by the Reddit community that the NVIDIA with Cosmic at the moment is not the best experience, as I was getting the experience quite good on my B-Link, which uses an APU, which is AMD. So it uses AMD graphics. However, it works really good. This is not the experience I expected to get, but I can record the desktop still, and either way, it's not like the same experience. Like, I don't get the transparency panel or dock. It looks like it's more of into like a safe mode kind of setup here. But overall, it's still the crux of the system. So I'm going to give you my personal thoughts and things that I like about this system and things that I think that should be added to the system. If the developers are watching this, just a thought. I'm not telling you guys to do what to do, but just suggestions. I don't develop an operating system. I know it's probably a lot complex to make, not an operating system, but a GUI environment like a desktop environment. I know people shit on GNOME a lot, but it's true. People don't understand how complex it is to make a desktop environment and how it has to be stable, because when you have a lot of people using an operating system or a GUI desktop, I should say, when you have big corporations using it for their servers, they want stability, you know. Even though I know I complain about, oh, they don't have a system tray, they took it out. Well, there's reasons probably they took it out. Probably because no one's maintaining it, and also probably the code was quite old, or just something they cobbled up together to have a system tray, and they just took it out because the code was not really good. So to make the system more secure and stable, they probably just took it out, but they hadn't refined the replacement for it yet, because they're trying to look for something universal that will work on every single desktop environment, not just GNOME, but GNOME wants to make a standard where every desktop environment on Linux can use the same standard, which is probably would be good, but good luck with that. Anyways, so let me just give you a little tour around the desktop environment. So I did put a wallpaper, so that's one thing. But normally you would see like a transparency on the panel and on the dock. You won't see this thing here. I am using an NVIDIA GPU. Let me load up Kitty here. Kitty terminal, and capital G. So it is indeed using Wayland. This is a Wayland thing, but it's not working pretty well with NVIDIA. I don't know if I did something wrong, but it does work really good on my AMD system. I call it an AMD system because it doesn't have NVIDIA on it or Intel. It's just pure AMD mini computer, which works really lovely. This is a much better computer. It's a much more powerful computer. As you can see, this has like I don't know, it says 49 gigs, but it's really a 48 gigabyte machine. So yeah, I don't know. It's using NVIDIA drivers 550.78. That's the latest drivers. So anyways, let's get to the setup here. So there's a lot of things that I would like to have for like the dock, for example. Let's go to desktop, and where the dock's here. So like you have applets add to the dock, right? So when you go to dock, you can add like configure the dock in applets, and you can add applets. What I like to see like in the future, I'm not saying to do it or not, or like it'd be nice to have, I should say, but it doesn't have to be done. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's a suggestion that like in GNOME, where you can add dash dock, I like the benefit to have the trash can applet on, like even like we call it the plank dock. You can add the trash bin onto the dock. So I like to have like an applet where you can add a trash bin onto the dock. That would be nice, like a trash bin dock or applet, I should say, onto the dock. That'd be nice. And also have like mounted drives also on the dock. Okay, something like, you know, Dash Dock does. Just an idea. That would be really like have like to show like your mounted drives or anything that's like mounted to the system. It'll show on the dock as well. Having the trash bin would be nice to have also on the dock. I appreciate something like that. Though it's still pretty cool. I like that they include a system tray, which is a basic feature, but at least this desktop environment will out of the box have a system tray, so that's great. Also, you can tile in the system, which I'll be showing you in the future. I'll be showing you guys in a minute here. Just let me explain some things here. I like to give a better review. I'm not professional by any means, but on my B-Link, it looks so much better. Like, so much better. Like, I don't know, like, I'm like writing this in a very bad environment. It's not functioning as it should with NVIDIA, which really sucks. I thought this would run better. I could hook up a microphone to my B-Link and do a review on that one, but I don't really feel like doing that, to be honest. It's a couch setup. I have it as like a big media TV and all that. Like, I don't really use it as a content creating thing. It's just for me to relax and sit down and be lazy, play video games, watch YouTube. So, but it works so well on the machine. I do have a bunch of AMD GPUs, but I just don't feel like popping in AMD GPU onto this box and installing the drivers and all that stuff. I thought this would work a lot better on the NVIDIA, but I guess it won't. But anyways, if I used the open source drivers, it probably would have been a little bit different, but I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, where was I getting at with this? So I'm going to go back here. There's no back thing. You got to click desktop again. And so desktop panel. So the top panel, I'm going to configure it because I don't really like this. This looks kind of inconsistent. I think that personally, I like that you can customize it because I don't think this looks good. This looks really like it just, I don't know. To me, this doesn't look good. Personally, everybody can have different tastes, but I don't like this. It looks bad. So if I put the workspace above it, this looks a bit better. But I don't like the round thing. It just doesn't look good with a square, like, you know, like it's not a round panel on top, you know what I mean? So the round circle just looks out of place, personally, I find. So how do you change that? You go to Appearance, and if you scroll down, which is really bad here. So I'm going to change this to, I guess, is this blue? I'll change it to that color. It looks more Arch Linux looking color. It's like a purple, but it matches the background a little bit better. So you can have like round, slightly round, and then you can have, that looks okay. That looks a lot better. See the square? And it puts everything like square, like all your stuff. Slightly round. Slightly round looks pretty nice too as well, I consider. Let's go with that. So that's how that looks like. I consider this looks a little bit better. Applications, I wish that, like, I don't mind to have this at the beginning, but instead of saying applications, I wish they just have like a Pop! OS icon, or the ability to put an icon there. Instead of saying applications, just have an icon. You click on the icon like a start menu kind of button. This is the classic Pop! OS, like, you know, menu. So yeah, that's cool. So it does. This is a really nice desktop. It has a calendar. It's really good. Like, it has everything you need. Like, also, it has tiling. So if you load up, a bunch of programs, it tiles. And okay, so you can change the tiling view like that. So like the fonts are very out of place. This looks really big. I know it will be polished up eventually, but I mean, for what it is now, I think it's a good desktop. I mean, it's like GNOME. It's a lot better than XFCE4. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, this is way better than XFCE4, and it's still really in alpha stage. But this looks pretty good. I just wish to have more like applets for the dock, like a trash bin and mounted like disc on there, like make it more like dash dock would be really cool. And have this where it has, or you can put an icon as well if you don't want like it's saying like letters or a word. Just have like an icon, and you can change the icon to whatever you want. Like, let's say you want to put an Arch Linux logo there instead, or you can put a Pop OS logo, whatever, like, you know what I mean, like, or just put a Cosmic logo, like make a logo for the Cosmic desktop environment. I mean, GNOME has like a logo. I mean, does Cosmic have the logo for the desktop environment? I don't think they do yet, eh? So my thoughts on this, well, it's great on a system that will support like 3D acceleration, but unfortunately it's not really working too well with NVIDIA. So basically I'm going to stick with GNOME as it works really well with my NVIDIA GPU. I'm not going to say it works the best, but it works better than using KDE, and it works a lot better than using this desktop environment. So yeah, I'm going to use GNOME on this desktop, which I don't really use this desktop that much other than me making videos for my YouTube channel. I used to use a computer a lot, but I've been lazy lately. I've been sitting on the couch enjoying the lazy couch computing lifestyle, and I'm telling you, it's great. I like it. As I'm getting older, I like to just sit down on the couch with my wireless keyboard and mouse and just watch YouTube and chill out because I'm lazy. Well, I mean, I do work 40 hours a week, and I do work pretty hard at my job. So, I mean, when I am off, I do like to relax, which is not a bad thing. You should relax once in a while. It's not always good to work. But anyways, it has like notifications. It does have Bluetooth if you have Bluetooth. This battery thing, I don't need that to be there. So if you want to take the battery applet out, you just go to here, you go to the panel, you go to top panel, and then you go down here, and then you go to configure applets, and you'll see battery. You just hit the trash bin and the battery's gone. So this is pretty good. You can change your audio, you can change your input microphone and sound settings. You have like you can tile your windows, you can tile per workspace or all workspace, and you can choose a behavior. This is really awesome. I like this. Now I don't know why it's showing two OBS. That's that's weird. But you got your network, you got your it got a system tray, man. GNOME does not have a system tray. This has a system tray. This also has a really nice menu. I like the menu. This looks nice. This is what you see in Pop OS. I like this. I don't like this though. I don't like the same applications. The workspace should be, how like Hyperland, and it only shows workspaces when you go to another workspace? That's what this should do. It should just show the numbers when you're on many different workspaces, and to show all the numbers on the workspace, like Hyperland. That'd be kind of cool. The dock is pretty cool. This system just looks really weird in this kind of mode. I never seen on mode like this, safe mode. That's what I call it, because it doesn't look proper. Like if you can't even click on the desktop, so the desktop doesn't do anything. There's no desktop icons. They're going like that, like most desktops now. They're going with they don't want any desktop icons. I prefer to have icon on the desktop because I don't know, it just feels more like a desktop. It feels like when you don't have the freedom to put icons on the desktop, it just feels less of a desktop. It feels more like a tablet system, to be fair. That's just personal opinion. Like, I don't really care. Like, I can live without it. But a system tray, I think, is very convenient because a lot of applications do require to have a system tray because it does have features with the application itself. And I personally think it's good to have. So I was gonna do something. I forgot. So, like, applications work really well. Not as good on an NVIDIA system here. So, yeah, this is a little problem here. Okay, this is your workspace. This is interesting. All right. It's like a button application to load the work. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to show you guys. But, oh yeah. Change the wallpaper. No, it's not that. Wallpaper. I don't know. There's no transparent. Oh, there is transparency. I see. So it's just the wallpaper itself then. I see, but for some odd reason it has like this line. I think the compositor is not working well, but it does have transparency. I just realized that. Okay. Oh, it's the wallpaper that I choose, isn't it? All right, let's add another wallpaper then. Let's add that, and fit to the desktop. Okay. All right. This looks a little bit better. Wait, it's not stretched out. So, fill, I guess? Yeah, fill. Yeah, that's, I guess. This doesn't look good. And there's no other way to, like, change that either. Oh. Trying to find a wallpaper here. Try that one. Oh, that one's funny. Also, like, the terminal doesn't have any transparency, even though it does have it. So, yeah, it works okay. I don't know why it has these lines. I don't think my system has, like, it seems to work a lot better on my AMD system. To be fully honest, it works a lot better. Yeah, it just seems to, I don't know. I'm trying to find yeah, there it is. That's the one. That is the wallpaper I was looking for. So, yeah, this looks good. Desktop icons would be nice to have. Maybe have an option to have that. Also, having the trash bin as like a trash bin applet and a mounted disc applet would be nice to have on the dock. Actually, the application I would prefer to be on the dock too. Like you know how those little like square things, like little squares, for the app menu. Maybe put that on the dock. Like I think Pop! OS actually has that too on the dock like that as well, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, make it more like Pop! OS. To be honest, that would be a lot better. I mean, it kind of looks like Pop! OS. But I don't really like the file manager. I'm not a big fan of the file manager. I'm not a big fan of their editor program. I don't like their internal program either. It just doesn't look good with Catnip. So I use Kitty. Kitty still looks better. Also, I use Kate as my text editor, even though it's a KDE. I think Kate's pretty good. This is Kate. Let's just open up an example. I use Tokyo Night color scheme, which I really like a lot. So I like Kate. I think Kate's a really good text editor. Personal choice. Also, like files, I think it's called. Yeah. So files. This is GNOME files, which is better. I prefer this over their file manager. Personal choice. Luckily, you still can use it, and it still does show the GTK theme. It does tile properly. Good. But once again, things are inconsistent, right? Like, so when you load up like a GTK4 theme, it's gonna have the GTK4 theme on it. It's not gonna have the Pop! OS window box. I wonder if you could theme like the window box like to different like GUI window boxes. You know what I mean, like the window box. Because I don't really like their window box. I don't really like it, to be fair. I know I'm very nitpicking, but I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't really like this style, to be honest. I get they're doing their own thing, but I like to like change the GUI box. But I mean, it looks cool. I mean, maybe I can get used to it. But like a glass effect would be nice right here. Like have like a nice like tinted glass effect. Just make it more like less flat. I don't like this flat look. You know what I mean? It just looks very Metro looking. Like you know how Windows 8 looked like it's all Metro. They got this Metro like start menu. It's all flat square icons. That kind of reminds you of that a lot. I don't like that. I like more like a glass effect to it. Like Mac OS, for example. I think Mac OS is a good example to make a good desktop. And I think that Pop! OS should get a lot of inspiration from Mac OS. And then put their stuff in it. And make a nice desktop out of it. Because I think Mac OS, to me personally, is probably the best looking desktop. The best desktop that you can ever experience on a computer. I don't know. I ain't no Apple fanboy. I do like Apple products. Don't get me wrong. I do use Apple computers, phones, and their watch. I like Apple hardware. It is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It is really expensive. I will say that. But they are really good. Like they're really good computers. They work really well. Like the software inside the computer, like their operating system works really good. I'm a big fan of BSD for one thing. That's one thing I like about Apple. Is because it's based on BSD. Darwin is a BSD operating system, which uses a lot of FreeBSD code, but it's a BSD Unix system, and I like that a lot. I'm a big fan of BSD because I think BSD is a really good system in general. I've always been a big fan of BSD in the 90s. I like Ultrix. I liked Darwin as well. I like Next Step computers back in the day. Like it was a BSD Unix system like Ultrix. And like Sun OS, for example, that was also a really good BSD Unix system. Anyways, my thoughts just looks very Metro looking, like Windows 8 style. I don't really like that, but hey, it's alpha. Things probably will change, but for what it is now, I think it's really good. I do like the system tray. I do like their application menu. I think that it should have an icon instead. I do like the workspace thing. I like the tiling. I like the dock. I think the dock should have more applets like trash bin and mounted hard drives, like that's the dock. I would like to have desktop icons, but if not, that's okay. But other than that, it's a good desktop environment. I wish it worked a lot better on NVIDIA because it seems to work a lot better on AMD or on the open source drivers compared to the proprietary drivers. But it seems like NVIDIA drivers don't work good on any desktop environment Linux have because of NVIDIA drivers are non-free, which developers can't really touch the drivers to make it work good with Wayland because it's non-free, right? So there is going to be an update with NVIDIA drivers for Wayland for NVIDIA drivers this month. I think it's May 15th, and that should be correcting a lot of problems that we have. But overall, it does work pretty good. It's actually pretty functionable. This is still an alpha, but I am pretty impressed with it. I do like the system. I think the GUI, to me personally, it's not really my style. I know people may like it. I think that it needs more. I don't know. I know I'm pointing out things. They're doing a good job. System 76 are doing a very good job. I really like the desktop. I think it's really good for what it is now. I think that the desktop is looking better. And I think the more that they work on it, and other people that use it, the more they use it, the more feedback they get on it, the better the system will improve. I think over time, because I think not too much people are using Cosmic DE, and I probably wouldn't suggest to use it now. But they're going to release NI, so a lot of people will be using it more. But right now, you can also use it on Fedora, and you can also use it on Arch Linux through the AUR. You can use it. Is it recommended? Not really. If it's good to play around with, sure. If you want to play around with it, but it's not something I'm going to use like hardcore. I know some people will, but I'm going to probably go back to my GNOME system. But I am really, really interested in their desktop environment. As far as their Pop! OS system, I wouldn't mind using it, but I'm not a big fan of Ubuntu, so I ain't gonna use Pop! OS. If it was based on Arch Linux, then I probably would use Pop! OS full time. But since it's based on Ubuntu, I'm not really a big fan of Ubuntu. I used to be, but I don't like it anymore. And I think Snap is just a really bad, I don't like it. And I'm not going to say anything bad about Ubuntu because people just thumb down my video because they're a bunch of canonical fanboys or fangirls. So I'm just going to say, personally, I don't like it. I ain't going to use it. Leave it at that. Anyways, thanks for the watch, guys. And hope this video was informative. And yeah, Pop! OS or Cosmic Desktop, it's pretty cool, but it needs some more work. I don't like their default applications, to be personally honest. I don't really like a lot of desktop environment default applications to begin with. I always use different things, so yeah. Anyways, I'll probably go back on Hyperland because I quite like Hyperland. Anyways, cheers.